In 2017, a weird and creepy figure started showing up in a small town in South Africa. Locals were terrified because this thing didn't look like a normal person, or even a normal animal. What you're seeing is what people are now calling the Dog Man. It looked like a half-human, half-dog creature, crawling on all fours and hanging out with actual stray dogs. Like, it lives and eats with them. People were too scared to go near it. So the only proof we have is some blurry video footage and grainy photos taken from a distance. Some people genuinely believe this was a creature, like something out of folklore or a lab experiment gone wrong. Others think it's just a mentally ill man who was abandoned or raised in the wild and somehow ended up living with dogs, almost becoming one of them. Personally, it's hard to say for sure. The way it moves is unsettling, and it's definitely not normal. But it could easily be a man dealing with serious trauma or mental health issues. Someone who society forgot about, now barely recognizable. Whatever the truth is, this sighting really freaked people out. Even years later, no one's come forward to explain who or what it really was. A Redditor, Shtix Zadinia, uploaded this video 4 years ago when they were in a forest in Switzerland and heard something scary. What sounded like little children screaming at the top of their lungs could be heard in the video. What's more scary was the fact that there were no foxes in the forest due to some incidents, which led Zedinia and the viewers on Reddit to wonder if the forest was hiding some deep, dark secrets no one knows anything about. You can hear what sounds like children screaming, loud, panicked, and echoing deep through the trees. At first, some people thought it could be foxes, but according to the Redditor, there haven't been foxes in that forest for years because of some incident in the area. Others just wondered. If you were actually hearing children screaming like this, I'm surprised you didn't have a sense of urgency, which makes this even scarier. Now, here's the messed up part, and it might explain the sounds. There's a real case tied to Swiss forests. Werner Ferrari was a serial killer who operated in Switzerland. He targeted young children, and many of his victims were never found. Some believe their bodies were hidden in forests just like this one. So maybe those screams weren't just echoes. We'll let you decide on this one. A YouTuber, who usually just uploads gaming content, decided to vlog a night drive, but it didn't go the way he expected. At first, everything seemed normal. Just an empty road, some music, nothing weird. But then, he took a turn, and that's when things got creepy. A tall figure suddenly appears near the road, just standing there, holding something like a stick. You can't see the face, and the YouTuber and his friends instantly got freaked out. They thought it might have been a witch or something worse, and drove off fast. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In a lot of cultures, especially in South America and Eastern Europe, people talk about road witches. Women who appear out of nowhere on roads at night, often holding sticks or staffs, and are said to curse travelers who cross their path. It also reminds us of real reports like the White Lady of Beek Drive In the Philippines, a ghost said to appear in front of cars, causing accidents. Whether this was a prank, a mentally ill person, or something supernatural, we can't say for sure. But one thing's clear: turning your car around at night might not always be the smartest move. In 2022, a Reddit user named Arachnal shared a photo, which, according to him, was taken in the late 1990s in New Jersey. At first glance, it looks like a normal photo of two girls posing for the camera in a forest, but when you look closely in the background, you might see a terrifying sight. According to Arachnal, there were already rumors that the camp was haunted, and this picture just gave them proof, with a figure seemingly lurking behind the girls. But when more people saw it, it turned out to be more than just a ghost haunting. The picture seemed to link with the infamous cult. The KKK seemed to link with the infamous cult KKK. And honestly, it's not far-fetched. The Ku Klux Klan, also known as the KKK, was active across many parts of the US, including New Jersey, in the early to mid-20th century. They were known for wearing white hoods and robes and terrorizing anyone they saw as different. So, if that figure in the background really was wearing one of those outfits, it makes the photo more than just spooky. It makes it disturbing. And if you think this is a one-off, it's not. There have been other reports of KKK appearances in remote parts of America, even as recently as the 2000s. Some of them were caught on camera. Some just whispered about in local stories. Whether this was a ghost of a past hate crime or an actual person creeping around that day, we'll never know for sure. Sean Robinson has been posting YouTube videos for over 7 years of a painting that he claims is haunted.
More than 20 years ago, my grandmother left me a painting known as The Anguished Man, which is one of the most haunted paintings in the world.
According to Sean, the painting, named The Anguished Man, has a dark history. It was painted by a mentally disturbed man who went completely insane shortly after completing it and decided to end it all. Sean claims that every time he gets the painting out of his attic storage, strange things begin to happen around his house. Throughout the time Sean tried to record the painting, strange things kept happening, and they were not limited to just faint whispers and weird noises. At times, it was much more than that. Like the time when Sean left the painting alone, and this is what happened. Just after the weird scraping sound was heard out of nowhere, something happened that baffled Sean to the core. It was 1:30 in the morning, and no one was up in the house until the door suddenly swung shut on its own. It sounded like something fell, but nothing was captured on the camera. If anything, it just made Sean's belief in the painting being haunted a lot stronger. Over 7 years, Sean has only posted 8 videos to his YouTube channel. He says that between filmings, the painting is kept securely locked away in his attic. People in his comments have been divided over whether it is haunted or not. But one thing everyone agrees on is the fact that it is one hell of a creepy painting. And it isn't really that unbelievable, because haunted paintings aren't really something new. There's The Crying Boy, a painting that became infamous in the UK because houses that had it were mysteriously catching fire, but the painting always survived untouched. Or The Hands Resist Him, known online as the eBay Haunted painting, where viewers claimed they'd feel sick or anxious just looking at it, and some even said the characters in it moved at night. So, is the Anguished Man just another one in this cursed gallery? Some people think Sean is just great at editing spooky clips. Others believe there's real energy trapped in that painting. In 2016, a group of divers made a disturbing discovery while exploring near the remote island of Kokoya in Indonesia. This is what they recorded. Right at the bottom, 2 dugongs were trapped inside cages with no way out. It seemed like the 2 that were there were a mother and her calf, desperately trying to get out. The mother was tied by the tail. The other, a younger dugong, was in a nearby cage without any ropes. For those who don't know, dugongs are rare marine mammals closely related to manatees. And their rarity is the very reason this had happened to these poor animals, because it was found that some local fishermen had caught the animals and were hoping to charge people to take photos with the creatures. The divers were shocked. They spoke out and recorded everything. Their video quickly spread online and had many people speak up about it. Thankfully, both the mother and the calf were rescued. But this wasn't just a random event. Dugongs are endangered. There aren't many left, and they're already struggling to survive because of ocean pollution and loss of habitat. In 2019, a baby dugong in Thailand named Mariam went viral after she passed away from eating plastic waste. Her story made international headlines and showed how much danger these animals are really in. Some legends say dugongs were mistaken for mermaids by sailors long ago, but no matter what stories exist, the truth is, these are real living creatures that deserve to be safe. Biologists from the Alabama Marine Resources Division dove on this reef on July 22, 2014, to view reef maturation and survey lionfish populations. But instead of what they were looking for, they found this. A set of 2 concrete and Florida limestone reef pyramids were sitting on the ocean bed right in front of them. Later, they were removed, and the most surprising part was that the original video was also deleted from YouTube, which left people with more theories than anything else. Some said, just think about what's underneath that little pyramid. I don't think we dig underwater yet, do we? While others wondered why the Bermuda Triangle Crystal Pyramid videos are no longer available. And then, it wasn't the first time pyramids discovered underwater had shocked people. In April 2025, another sunken pyramid was discovered, this time way bigger and way more mysterious than before. This giant structure with sharp angled steps stands roughly 90 feet tall and appears to be made entirely of stone, leading many to believe it was man-made. However, tests of the stone show it to be over 10,000 years old, meaning that if a civilization built this pyramid by hand, it would have taken place before this region sank underwater, more than 12,000 years ago. But if we go back to the Alabama pyramids, which seemed way too small to be considered a proper pyramid, it turned out they were not real, but coral reefs set by the authorities for the divers. So maybe the Alabama mystery is solved, but the Taiwan pyramids still manage to creep people out to this day. In South America, a farmer was super excited when his pigs were about to give birth. More piglets meant more money, and everything seemed normal, until one of them came out looking nothing like a pig. What you're seeing is a real mutant piglet. It had a flat face, tiny eyes, and an odd little bump on its forehead. Some people even said it looked part human. Others were convinced it was the result of some human cruelty. The farmer posted the footage online, and the video blew up. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. But surprisingly, this wasn't even the only time this has happened. In other parts of the world, including China and Malaysia, farmers have reported pigs being born with 2 heads, no eyes, or faces that resembled human babies. Some locals even believe these are signs of curses or bad luck. But there's a more scientific explanation. Genetic mutations can happen when the mother is exposed to pollution, disease, or chemicals. These mutations can mess up how the baby develops in the womb, leading to bizarre features. Sadly, these mutant piglets don't survive long. Most are either stillborn or die within hours of being born. Captured by a photographer in Slovenia, this rare deer instantly reminded people of a unicorn, and honestly, you can see why. Experts say this happens when a deer injures the base of one antler while they're still growing. Instead of growing as 2 separate antlers, they merge into one, creating this bizarre and magical look. Only a handful of these unicorn deer have ever been documented, making this one a seriously rare find in the wild. In 2008, a similar case was documented in Italy, where a deer exhibited a single horn protruding from its forehead, likely due to a genetic mutation. It's rare, it's bizarre, and yet it's real. Whether it's genetics or a freak accident, sightings like this blur the line between myth and nature. Hikers often stumble upon amazing sights in nature, but this encounter might be a bit too realistic. A hiker recently captured footage of a strange figure standing in the woods, so lifelike it nearly gave him a heart attack. The video shows a tall wooden figure with what seems like a tiny person inside. As the hiker gets closer, they discover it's not a magical creature, but an incredibly detailed and realistic statue. The carving is so lifelike, it could easily be mistaken for a mythical forest spirit. While the encounter was certainly surprising, the statue's craftsmanship is truly impressive. The intricate details and beautiful artistry are undeniable. However, I suggest that the artist might want to reconsider placing such realistic artwork deep in the woods, as it could be quite a shock for unsuspecting hikers. Remember those magical creatures we dreamt of as kids, like unicorns? Well, this video from Uzbekistan might rekindle that childhood wonder. The video features a truly unusual sight. A steer with 3 horns. It has the typical 2 horns of its kind, but also a single straight horn right in the middle, reminiscent of a unicorn. This special steer, raised by a village in Uzbekistan, became quite the local celebrity. Some even went as far as calling it a divine being reborn, while the extra horn could be a result of a genetic mutation, similar to how some animals are born with extra limbs. These mutations are happening more often these days. The big question now is, what do we call this amazing creature? It's not quite a unicorn, since it's a steer, not a horse. Can you think of a cool name for this one-of-a-kind animal? Have you seen this doorbell camera footage from California? It's causing a stir online, with people debating whether it's real or a hoax. The video shows a strange humanoid figure approaching a porch and looking right into the camera. Its long, wiggling fingers and bulging eyes are definitely creepy. The figure makes odd hand gestures for a full minute before darting away. It's certainly unsettling, especially considering it happened in the middle of the night. But take a closer look. This might not be a paranormal encounter after all. The figure's unmoving pupils within the bulging eyes suggest a mask, and my guess is that it is not a real creature. I think this is an elaborate Halloween prank, and whoever did it deserves a round of applause for creepiness. This next story may be disturbing for some, so please proceed with caution. And I know it isn't really thematic for the channel, but this one really shocked me, and I wanted to share with you. In December 2022, doctors in China treated an unusual medical case that shocked many people. In an extremely rare situation, they performed surgery to remove a fetus from the brain of a 1-year-old child. It all started when the child's parents noticed they were developing motor skills slower than expected. Further tests revealed an enlarged head and fluid buildup in the brain. Using a magnetic resonance imaging scan, doctors made a shocking discovery that a malformed fetus was present inside the child's skull. This condition, called fetus in fetus, is incredibly rare, affecting only about 1 in 500,000 births. While the exact cause is unknown, it happens during development when one twin becomes absorbed by the other. Thankfully, the fetus was surgically removed. However, it's unclear how the child fared after surgery, as the information isn't readily available online. We can only hope they made full recovery. This next video is one of those that makes you scratch your head and wonder, is it real or a clever fake? The footage comes from South America and shows a bizarre creature sprawled out on a bench. The thing looks like something straight out of a movie. It has strange, smooth skin, and its legs seem to blend into its tail. Its arms, and especially its face, are unlike anything we've seen before. While the creature doesn't move in the video, making it look dead, its body seems too well preserved to be a decomposing animal. The arms also have a weird membrane connecting them to the body, similar to flying squirrels. This detail suggests it might have been able to glide or even fly. To me, the creature looks almost too perfect. It's hard to tell if it's a real alien or a very well-made prop, maybe for a horror movie promotion. One thing's for sure, if you ever stumbled upon something like this lying next to your house, seeing it, your heart would probably skip a couple of beats. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. This video, originally shared on Reddit in 2012, has gained attention for its creepy content and supposed government involvement. However, it's important to approach such claims with a critical eye. The video, allegedly filmed by 2 teenage brothers in 2011, shows them playing with a trampoline. As one brother films the other performing tricks, something strange appears in the background. The cameraman zooms in, revealing a figure resembling the Slender Man, a tall, faceless entity from online horror stories. The video then cuts short as the brothers, supposedly terrified, run away. Following this, the uploader on Reddit claims the original upload was removed by the US government, sparking speculation and questions about the legitimacy of the video and the government's alleged involvement. This video from Canada shows a rabbit with some unusual zombie-like features. But fear not, it's not a zombie apocalypse. The homeowner filmed the rabbit in their backyard, zooming in to show strange growths on its head. These black spikes you see might look scary, but they're actually caused by something called a papillomavirus. Papillomaviruses are actually quite common, affecting both humans and animals. In animals, they cause growths called warts, which is what you see on the rabbit in the video. While the warts might look a bit bizarre, they aren't a sign of a zombie virus. It's understandable to feel bad for the rabbit, though. These warts can be uncomfortable, and in some cases, they can even be serious. Also, papillomaviruses are usually fatal. So next time you see a weird-looking animal, remember, it's probably not a zombie. It's more likely a common virus causing an unpleasant condition. Imagine you're hiking through the woods with your dog. Suddenly you become aware that you are not alone. Just beyond, in a clearing through the trees, you spot a large, dark shape resting on a tree stump. In this footage, the poster appears to capture something large, black, and covered in fur. The quality of the video is poor, but a shape is visible, as are its movements for a fraction of a second. Beyond this, it's anyone's guess whether it's Bigfoot or a bear.
He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here.
All we have to go on is the conviction of the poster's claim and the rising fear in his voice as he calls out to his dog. Not all First Nation beliefs around Sasquatch are favorable. Whilst some believe that sightings of Bigfoot bring good luck, members of the Plateau tribes identify Bigfoot as a stick Indian, drawing from a diverse range of potentially hostile beings who stole salmon or confused people by whistling, causing them to get lost. Here, a poster zooms in on a figure spotted in the woods. The large Neanderthal-like creature is studying something intently in the branches of the tree, unaware that it's being filmed. It has been suggested that it is stalking something. Is this an ape filmed from a deceptive angle that makes it look far larger than it is? Or is it a Sasquatch? You be the judge. Depending on who you ask, the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, as it is more commonly known, has been extinct for decades, or just really good at hiding. This sighting captured in Clifton Springs, Australia in 2019 claims to be the real deal. Resembling something closer to a wolf than a tiger with distinct dark stripes on its back and tail, the thylacine was hunted to extinction by European settlers who held unwarranted fears that the carnivorous marsupials would attack their livestock. The last known Tasmanian tiger was given to the Hobart Zoo in Tasmania in 1931, and it died in captivity in 1936. More recently, cryptozoologists, hikers, and hunters have claimed to have spotted the animal. But a study conducted by scientists based on sightings suggests that they got it wrong. Some are adamant that the species are not extinct. The animal caught on camera here seems to represent a compelling argument. It does resemble a wolf, and the stripes are visible on its tail. Unfortunately, it might just be too far away to be considered conclusive. Our hopes are that scientific study did get it wrong, and that the species has managed to survive in some remote part of Tasmania, far away from human interference and harm. This footage terrified me the first time I saw it. A creature that looks like a combination of a woman with some kind of feline animal. But what I then thought upon seeing this is that it looks similar to the legendary mythical creature known as succubus, which is a kind of demon that appears in a female form, or supernatural entity in folklore, traced back to medieval legend. It is said to appear in dreams, and takes the form of a woman in order to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. I am pretty sure this footage is fake, as I am not exactly sure how anyone would be able to survive such an encounter, if they do indeed exist in the first place. What do you think of this footage? The following video, shot in Fort Wilkins Historic State Park, claims to have captured a Sasquatch on camera. In the video, the large, furry humanoid creature is clearly seen walking through the forest. At some point, realizing it has been spotted, it stops and takes cover, blending into the environment. This is by far some of the closest and clearest footage we've seen in a while, and perhaps we've been conditioned to be skeptical of this kind of footage. Again, compare how this Sasquatch moves and the awkward way it peers through the branches. Is it just me, or is it walking like it's got a bad back? The peering through the bush also feels staged. Sasquatch or hoax? Picture this. You've just moved into a new place. Your first taste of independence. The only problem is that since you moved in, your dog won't stop yelping and clawing at the entrance hall closet. At night, he refuses to come up the stairs. You've also started hearing things. Sometimes a door will creak open, or just as you're falling asleep, the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. This is exactly what this guy was experiencing in his new house. For these reasons, he decided to set up cameras to see if anything comes up. He sets one in the kitchen and proceeds to climb the steps towards his room. But just as he does this, something behind follows him upstairs. We can even see that this shadow figure has some sort of legs. Is it a ghost that is trapped in the house, or is it something more malevolent lurking there? Avoid creepy, abandoned buildings. They always attract the worst kinds of things. The poster of this video claims he got a skinwalker on camera. He went to explore an abandoned warehouse, but he started hearing things from a room. Rather than going in, he saw a window that allowed him to catch a glimpse of this. A humanoid figure seen standing almost motionless in the room. It does resemble some kind of zombie-like trance. Could this be a skinwalker, or is it a fake video set up by someone trying to grab some attention? Remember the sheer joy that came with renting a movie, going to the store and browsing the shelves for something new to watch, hoping that whatever you chose was actually available and not already checked out? The guy in this security camera footage might not be as nostalgic. Watch what happens as he does the rounds packing the DVDs back on their shelves. It seems a playful poltergeist doesn't care that the store is closed and is pretty adamant they're going to check out something tonight. A TikTok poster shares a video of what they claim is a moose being stalked by what appears to be more than one Bigfoot. It's difficult to verify the Bigfoot claims in this instance. It's dark outside, and all that is visible from between the trees are two sets of eyes. It is possible these could belong to other moose. But as they move, no trace of an antler or ears is visible. It's definitely creepy, as one needs to remember that moose are large and very aggressive animals that can weigh up to 1,500 pounds with few predators apart from humans. So if something is hunting them in those woods, it's got to be strong and big to stand a chance. A family picked the wrong place to camp when they spotted numerous eerie apparitions on camera. Facing a nearby wood, they witness a host of ghostly shadows moving between the trees. At first, there only appears to be one, but the number quickly grows as the pale shadows shift. One appears suspended above the branches. The quality of the video is poor, but the presence of something haunting is clear. Did something terrible happen on this land that it is populated by so many spirits? Oftentimes, camping grounds can be notorious for being old battle sites or awash with unmarked graves. People who have visited such places claim to hear the sounds of men shouting, cannons and gunshots, and the sound of the military man drums. It isn't clear from the video whether the family decided to brave it and stay the night or make a quick getaway. 2 mysterious skeletons are discovered on a beach in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. One is slightly larger than the other. What is unusual about them is that both seem to have tails like a fish. Are these mermaids, or some convoluted hoax? This isn't the first time these skeletons have washed ashore. In the last 3 years, strange skeletons have appeared on a beach in the UK and in Australia. These skeletons were even longer, approximately 6 foot in length. It is unclear from the video the actual size of the skeletons, which are in a grim state of decomposition. The one skeleton is in pretty bad shape and missing a few ribs. This is possibly due to being flung up against rocks, or it was the cause of death when this creature was still living. Some skeptics suggest that they are the remains of seals, but the skulls look remarkably human. Do mermaids exist? What do you think? A man comes running from the dark road ahead and is illuminated in the car's headlights where the person is filming. He appears to be afraid and excited at something he has spotted further on up the dirt track. The car, undeterred, continues to advance. A strange alien-like creature is seen shuffling across the road. The car stops some distance from it, while the man we encountered earlier returns for a closer look. It looks unlike anything we have seen before, almost like some kind of crab with short tentacles instead of claws. Is it some horrible fault of nature? It's difficult to tell from such a distance, which is a possible indication that it's a fake. The person filming seems extremely calm and quiet, and the feel of the video does seem to be staged with the arrival of the man in the beginning. Surely, they could have gotten a little closer, or at least zoomed in. Ever heard the saying, "Watch where you step at the beach"? Well, this video from Florida shows why. In the clip, a fisherman can be seen digging in the sand when they unearth a massive crab, unlike anything you've ever seen. This strange creature is a horseshoe crab, and it's truly enormous. The fisherman then flips the crab over, and we can see multiple legs and a flattened underside that kind of resembles a beetle. Even its shell has a beetle-like look. These horseshoe crabs are like living fossils. They haven't changed much in over 440 million years. That means they were around way before dinosaurs, stomping around the oceans 200 million years ago. Another cool fact: horseshoe crab blood is blue. Unlike us humans with red blood, horseshoe crabs have a special protein called hemocyanin that makes their blood appear blue. So next time you're at the beach, keep an eye out for these fascinating creatures. They're like the grandfathers of dinosaurs, and stepping on them wouldn't be a very polite welcome. I stumbled upon this video on Reddit, and let me tell you, the red blobs hanging from the ceiling are unlike anything I've ever seen. At first glance, they look kind of like fruit, but the more you watch, the weirder they get. These blobs have a strange, almost slimy texture, and there's even some goo dripping down from them. I did some research online to see if they could be spider eggs, but nothing matched what's in the video. The whole scene is seriously creepy, and it makes you wonder what these things really are. Are they some kind of unknown cave creature? Alien eggs from another world? Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you've seen something similar before, or have an idea of what they might be. If this video turns out to be a prank, I'll seriously plead with my friends to steer clear of attempting such antics on me, because I'm not sure my heart could handle it. The video hails from India, showcasing footage from a security camera. In the nighttime scene, a strange creature emerges on the street. This creature is downright weird and creepy from every angle imaginable. It boasts long humanoid legs, but lacks any upper body, with just a flat circular surface up there. The way it strolls, while maintaining balance, is genuinely unsettling. Some viewers suspect it's a prank, suggesting the person might have concealed their upper body inside their shirt. Yet, to me, it seems nearly impossible for someone to hide their entire upper body, arms, and head in such a confined space. This Indonesian homeowner caught a hilarious moment on camera. In the clip, we can see a large snake could be seen slithering by the homeowner's front door. And she got a bit of a scare. In the moment, she tossed a slipper at the snake, thinking it would scare it off. But something unexpected happened. The snake actually grabbed the slipper in its mouth and made a quick getaway. It's funny to see this large snake slithering away with a slipper dangling from its mouth. While the situation is definitely unusual, it's important to remember that the snake was likely just trying to defend itself and escape the homeowner's reaction. The video ends with the snake disappearing into the field, slipper in tow. It makes you wonder what would happen if these thief snakes got common and went after something a little more valuable, like our phones. People have talked about goblins for a long time, often in stories and legends. After watching this video, some might start thinking that goblins could actually exist. The video was recorded by a biker wearing a GoPro camera on their helmet, giving us a special view. In the video, we follow the biker as they ride along a trail, their motorcycle making a loud noise. Out of nowhere, a small, naked, human-like figure appears in the distance. This creature notices the approaching biker and tries to hide in the nearby bushes. The biker, curious about this strange sight, stops the motorcycle and tries to see where this mysterious creature has gone. This little creature, with its small size, exposed skin, and odd look, does resemble what some people might call a goblin. But the big question is, why was this goblin-like creature in that place? Was it searching for hidden treasures, or did it have some other unsettling reason for being there? This video takes us to the Mojave Desert, where an oil field worker captured something unusual while on the job. While working at the site, the worker noticed movement in the distance that drew their attention. They quickly started recording and managed to capture a truly scary sight. In the video, we see a tall, humanoid figure slowly walking along a trail. The creature's gait is peculiar, and it appears to be hunched over. Its long, elongated hands are reminiscent of a Bigfoot. After a brief stroll, the mysterious being disappears behind a bush. Some viewers have speculated that it could be a skinwalker, but based on the creature's appearance, it seems more likely that it was a local forest-dwelling Bigfoot. Whatever it was, it undeniably presented a strange and mysterious sight. This video is like something from a nightmare. It was recorded by a security camera and shows a view of a house driveway. Right at the beginning of the video, a humanoid creature that walks on all fours comes into view as it approaches the house. As this creature gets closer to the camera, its appearance becomes clear. It is completely naked with a human-like body. At first glance, you might think it's just a person acting strangely. But the way this creature moves on all fours, hunched over, is incredibly unusual. It displays remarkable agility as it moves all around the house, coming into the view of multiple cameras. The motives of this eerie cryptid remain unknown, but I'm quite certain that they were far from friendly. Imagine, you wake up one day, step out onto your balcony, and direct your gaze towards the sky, only to be greeted by an unusual square-shaped object hovering up there. In this video, captured by a resident from their apartment balcony, we're treated to a sky view that showcases this square flying object. This peculiar object stands out as it lacks the conventional features we associate with known aircraft. Adding to its mystique, the object seems to remain perfectly still without any discernible movement. For those observing this video, the notion that this could be an unidentified flying object comes to mind. However, the absence of movement raises questions about its true nature. Some might speculate that it's a weather forecasting device undergoing testing, but without concrete evidence, the mystery remains unsolved. This footage was captured by a home security camera in New Mexico, and it showcases the appearance of an unidentified humanoid creature. The creature was reportedly moving in a southern direction. In the security camera recording, we witness a humanoid figure sprinting across the driveway in a fraction of a second. This creature's physical characteristics and posture are undeniably strange. It possesses a hunched back, very thin legs, and appears completely naked. The head of this creature even resembles that of an alien. However, the video quality is somewhat blurry when zoomed in, preventing us from making a definitive identification. Regardless, the presence of such a creature in one's driveway would undoubtedly be an unsettling experience. This video, originating from Russia, showcases the sheer force of nature in action. Recorded by a mountain climber, the footage captures a distant mountain peak adorned with trees. What's particularly intriguing is that one of the trees starts moving in an unusual and unsettling manner, as if someone with immense strength is holding and swaying it on the peak. This peculiar straight-line movement suggests a powerful force at play, possibly a colossal, unidentified forest creature. While one plausible explanation could be a feller buncher, a heavy machinery used for cutting trees, the tree's eerie motion remains quite mysterious. Trail cameras are fantastic for capturing the unseen mysteries of the woods, but sometimes they reveal things we weren't meant to witness. In this nighttime trail camera footage, a group of deer stands attentively, clearly spooked by something lurking in the dark ahead. Suddenly, a shadowy figure emerges, its body reflecting the light from the trail camera. The deer remain on high alert, fixated on this mysterious presence. Just as swiftly as it appears, the shadowy creature vanishes into the darkness once more. This encounter was undeniably unsettling for these unsuspecting deer, and one can only hope they remained safe from this enigmatic entity. Have you ever heard of the creature known as Mothman? Mothman sightings were reported in the Point Pleasant area from 1966 to 1968, and newspapers were filled with accounts of these appearances. Mothman is a creature with a combination of humanoid and moth-like features, and its appearance can be quite scary and unsettling. But if you think you're safe now because the last sighting was in the 1960s, you might be mistaken. This video comes from Iran, where a villager investigates strange noises emanating from a nearby mountain. As he approaches with a flashlight, he spots a truly eerie figure resembling Mothman perched on the peak ahead. The creature has a red head and is enveloped in wings, and the reflection of its eyes in the flashlight's beam is particularly chilling. This video adds yet another mysterious creature to the list of things that give me the creeps. There's something creepy in the woods. There's something terrifying visible out of just the corner of your eye. A cyclist tears through the woods at night, and his camera captures something strange to the left of the screen. A figure looms, tall and menacing. A weird tube-shaped head, visible arms and torso. It appears to be wearing a suit. Is it some kind of bizarre totem? Or could it be a scarecrow? Problem is, this isn't farmland. This is the middle of the woods at night. A trail camera set up in the hopes of catching the activity of nocturnal fauna captures way more than anyone had anticipated. Watch the zoomed-in footage as a transparent object comes into view from the left-hand side of the screen. At first it appears to walk, but then as it comes more clearly into focus, the demon's shadow begins to crawl on all fours, its freakishly long body resembling some kind of awful reptile. The fiendish nightcrawler disappears from range, no doubt off to haunt some unknowing camper. One wonders how it came to haunt this forest and why it can't leave. It's not always clear why people set up cameras in the woods unless the goal is to capture unsuspecting wild animals going about their business. But every now and then they get more than they bargained for. Check out the following trail footage.
What the is that? 4 days ago. Oh my god, I don't even want to touch my laptop, bro. I feel like it's looking at me.
An extreme close-up reveals that something is looking back. An inquisitive yet somewhat sinister eye peers deeply into the lens of the camera, the gesture almost threatening. Perhaps sightings like these will become more common. Perhaps they will start to communicate their intentions. But for now, they are watching. The sound of a child's laughter. Is there anything more delightful? Except when a child's laughter is heard, and the child doesn't exist. A night security man experiences a truly harrowing encounter with an entity on what is to be his last shift. The distinct sight of a child's hand is visible on the low-level glass window as it bangs on the glass and laughs in pure joy. As the security man rounds the corner, you expect to see the child, but just as abruptly as it started, the commotion stops. Nothing. The night shift security man hands in his notice the following day. It seems child's play is not for everyone. There's something about the fear and energy in this video that makes it both terrifying and exciting. Cell phone footage appears to capture what looks like Bigfoot running between the trees. Whilst there is a lot of scrambling and panic to record the moment, the actual footage is pretty clear as far as recordings go. Are you convinced? And for all intents and purposes, bears a striking resemblance to many of the other sightings we have witnessed here. But there is something about the way it is running that makes me a skeptic. Bigfoot or not, let us know in the comments. The thing about ghost sightings is that they are not always dramatic or even that visible. Something caught moving in your peripheral vision, an alarming sound that you can rationalize away by blaming the wind, a fleeting dark shadow on the stairs when no one else is around that disappears as quickly as it appears. Small occurrences that are no less disturbing. Watch as this poster captures a dark, shadowy figure moving up the stairs and vanishing from sight. It seems unlikely that whatever is there is human, as it disappears way too quickly. The first few seconds of this video are bizarre. A group of Frenchmen out on camping trip are traipsing through the dark without a flashlight, presumably returning to their campfire. The mood is jovial but soon changes when the area being filmed is suddenly illuminated. As if by magic there is a campfire burning gently, but that is not what our attention is meant to be drawn to. It is what is directly behind the fire, peering out from behind the tree. A hairless, ghostly white cryptid looms. Its dead eyes, like two dark pools in its head, stare back at the campers from its vantage. Some suggest it's a skinwalker, associated with bad omens and death. It prowls the forests in its pallid disguise with malevolent intent. The cameraman grows quiet in the creature's presence, and the mood changes. What happens after the sighting is anyone's guess, but I'm not sure I'd have stayed to find out. The following footage is difficult to decipher, obviously zoomed in significantly. The poster claims to have captured Bigfoot in plain sight. Granted, I cannot dispute the fact that something is there. Large and covered in fur and does not appear to be a bear, but beyond that, it is extremely difficult to say for certain. Watch closely as the creature who appears to be aware it is being watched moves ever so slightly. Do you think this is what the poster claims, or is just too much of a reach for the imagination? A snowy night, two hunters are out and armed with guns. As the snow begins to fall, two glowing eyes become clearly visible to the right of the tree straight ahead. The hunters are being watched and possibly hunted.
I don't hear it anymore. Oh shit, Dill. Right there, bud. Something in there. There's more than one. They're watching us. Hey!
person filming sounds visibly afraid because whatever that is watching them is not the only one, and instinctually something about this presence tells him that it is not an animal. The unblinking eyes continue to stare in the direction of the men, undeterred and unafraid of being shot. There's a reason they don't want us to speed, and it's got nothing to do with the rules of the road. It seems that once you break the acceptable limit, you might just end up like these guys on a literal highway to hell. Keep an eye on the rising speedometer, but wait for the moment our attention is drawn to something else visible on the side of the road. What can only be described as a demon stands watching as the car speeds past in a fury of pedal to the metal. For a moment, its distorted features are visible as what looks like smoke, but is more than likely the quality of the video taken at high speed, is seen rising off the top of its head. Perhaps it's just as well they were flying past. I wouldn't want to give that terrifying hitchhiker a ride. A generation of us kids were traumatized by Chucky, and later it was Annabelle. Malevolent dolls with murder on their minds, possessed by demons and able to move on their own. This poster claims to have discovered these creepy dolls in the basement of her new home. Seems the previous owner didn't want them. She also claims that one of the dolls appeared to move on its own. Notice how their eyes follow you and never stop. What would you do with them? Villagers capture a strange creature on the roof and remain surprisingly calm considering its appearance. It's possible to identify a shape and two bright eyes emanating from the darkness. The growing group of onlookers seem more bemused than terrified. It's possible they've seen this entity before. The creature remains surprisingly calm and still throughout. On initial viewings, it might be easy to dismiss this as a human. It does seem to possess a human body, and whilst relatively large, the limbs are proportionate. Where it becomes harder to reconcile the theory is the facial features, particularly those eyes that seem too far apart to be those of a human. Thankfully, it seems to be calm in spite of the attention it is receiving. The footage you are about to watch was recorded in the early 90s on a handheld video camera. The videographer was on holiday with his family, and they decided to take a day trip to the exquisite Mono Lake. Whilst his children played on the beach, he panned the camera to get a shot of the landscape. They left and remained oblivious to the fact that they may have just captured a Sasquatch on camera within a short distance from where the children were playing. The video remained uncovered for 17 years until a family member discovered it and noticed something strange. Granted, it's only a few seconds and fleeting to say the least, but there is something there that makes your blood run cold and cannot easily be explained. Watch closely as the large, brilliantly camouflaged creature moves and becomes visible. Emerging from between the rocks, it lumbers forward before turning abruptly on its heels and making as if to leave, possibly because it sensed it was spotted. Is this the legendary Sasquatch? Some have suggested that the video is a hoax, citing the one-dimensional shape the creature takes on when it turns as being a cardboard cutout. But this is not easily reconciled, as the quality of the tape is poor when zoomed in. You be the judge. It's late, you're in bed. You've switched all the lights off and your eyes have become accustomed to the dark. If you look around your room, you start to see shapes. The clothes you flung over the chair start to look almost human. The more you look, the creepier and more realistic it becomes. This poster claims to hear someone crying in her room. Watch as her camera films in the direction of the noise and captures a human figure standing in the darkness.
Do you guys hear that crying? Look, it's moving. What the f? And there's something over there crying. Do you guys see that?
It seems to have its back to the camera and is wearing a dress. Faint sobs are barely audible. Do you see it? We've featured a lot of skinwalker videos here on Trail Terror, but some of you might still be wondering what exactly these creepy creatures are. In Navajo culture, a close but not exact translation describes it as a witch. This was someone who committed unspeakable acts to obtain the power to shapeshift in order to do harm. Skinwalkers often take on the shape of animals, but more often than not, they appear as these ghostly white entities. Watch as this poster spots something disturbing behind the shed. Shooting in the direction of the sighting, she captures a featureless, deathly white face looking back at her.
Oh my God, nobody is gonna ever believe this. Oh, shit. Alright, we're going back inside.
One can also hear the sound of a child crying, but it has an almost echoey quality, as though it is not a human voice. It is not stated, but it is possible that the sound of the child crying is being mimicked by the skinwalker. It is claimed that they use this ability to fake the voice of a loved one or someone in distress to lure victims to their death. Sightings of skinwalkers are often considered personal attacks, in that someone has put a hex or curse on you. It is confirmed the aliens are here, and they have some truly phenomenal powers of disguise. Watch as this shocked poster notices something untoward when looking up at the sky. At first, it looks like a cloud, but then it starts to move. Yes, clouds move, you say, but no, not like this. Before our eyes, the camera captures the cloud transform into some kind of spacecraft or UFO with lights in it. The aliens are not even trying to hide, as the spacecraft moves across the sky and vanishes behind the houses. These sightings are becoming more prevalent, and the quality of the videos is improving too. It's almost as if they want us to see them. Notice how slowly the UFO progresses across the sky.
The first couple of viewings of this video definitely had me perplexed. A lady in white has all the makings of a scary movie. And we can see this lady passing the security guard, after which she just seems to vanish into thin air. The fact, however, that the security guard seems to almost appear out of nowhere as well, makes me deduce that the CCTV quality is not the best. There seems to be a specific glitchy spot, making things disappear in that particular place. But there is always the chance, of course, that neither the lady nor the security guard were real, and that both are ethereal bodies from another dimension, both caught on camera, appearing and disappearing.
Are you one of those who entertain the idea of Bigfoot's existence? Or do you stand on the skeptic side? Well, regardless of your stance, this video is bound to send shivers down your spine. This eerie footage was captured by a hiker camping in the Canadian forest when he heard strange noises emanating from the woods. With camera in hand, the hiker ventures forth and manages to capture footage of a tall, humanoid ape-like creature strolling through the trees. This creature is massive, with a walk that eerily resembles that of a human. Its body is adorned with thick black fur, adding to its mysterious and captivating presence. The hiker, who shared this video, insists that the creature is none other than Bigfoot, a claim supported by reports from nearby camps. If what the hiker says holds true, then we may just have a rare and remarkable sighting of this elusive creature on our hands. Just like the mysteries that dwell within our forests, the depths of our oceans hold secrets beyond our imagination. They say we've only explored a mere 5% of the ocean, leaving the rest to speculation, and this video is a testament to why. This video was recorded on a California beach by a father whose kids spotted something unusual washed up on the shore. The creature that immediately caught their attention looked like nothing they'd ever seen before. Its entire body seemed to have a gel-like texture, with no visible face or eyes. Only a small front portion of the creature was moving, while the rest remained still. It was almost as if the creature was attempting to move. But with such limited movement, it seemed quite confusing. This bizarre creature resembles something out of a science fiction movie, perhaps a slug from another world. Despite its harmless appearance, it's essential to remember that looks can be deceiving. Creatures that appear harmless often pose the most significant threat. Therefore, it's wise to exercise caution and refrain from approaching such creatures without further research. This next video, uploaded on YouTube, claims to have captured the sighting of a sea monster, and let me tell you, it looks pretty darn convincing. Filmed by farmers, this footage shows a river with something bizarre swimming beneath its surface. In the video, we can see the river water being disturbed by a large unidentified object. The sizable ripples and waves indicate that something substantial is moving through the water. We can hear the farmers expressing their distress upon witnessing this creature in their river. As the creature swims across from one side to the other, it encounters some drift bushes in its path, causing a commotion as it passes through. The scene ends abruptly, leaving viewers on edge. Now, some skeptics might speculate that it's merely a blockage or driftwood, causing the disturbance. But here's the thing. This creature was swimming and making waves against the direction of the water flow. Whatever this mysterious creature may be, one thing's for sure. It's not something the farmers want to encounter again anytime soon. We've all marveled at the majestic dragons that grace our screens in movies and animations. But who would thought we'd come face to face with one in real life? Well, sort of. This strange footage originates from a Chinese video sharing platform, showcasing a discovery that's difficult to comprehend. In it, villagers are seen as they stumble upon what appears to be the skeletal remains of a creature resembling the mythical dragons of legend. The skeleton is striking, featuring a small head, elongated neck, sizable torso, and an impressive tail, reminiscent of the fantastical beasts we've seen depicted in stories. However, the astonishing condition of the bones that are dry and impeccably clean raises questions regarding their authenticity. Could this remarkable find be the result of recent demise and subsequent scavenging by local wildlife? Or is it a meticulously crafted replica, designed to deceive? Regardless of its origins, the sight of such a creature, real or not, evokes a sense of wonder and curiosity. A homeowner in Los Angeles made a frantic 911 call, reporting two mysterious humanoid creatures lurking in his backyard. However, by the time the officers arrived, the creatures had vanished into thin air. But what the security camera captured paints a chilling picture.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a dope.
The footage obtained by the police reveals two towering figures, each standing at a staggering 9 feet tall. These creatures appear to be a bizarre mix of a monkey and a human, with hunched postures as they scour the backyard. The sight of them is enough to send shivers down your spine. Both creatures, captured on various security cameras around the property, share striking similarities. They possess elongated human-like bodies, with lengthy arms and faces reminiscent of apes. The homeowner is convinced they resemble the infamous Bigfoot. And honestly, it's hard to argue otherwise. The real bone-chilling question here is, what were these creatures up to in the backyard? And what could have unfolded if the homeowner had confronted them solo? It's a mystery that leaves us with more questions than answers. This video captures a moment that could either be a product of computer-generated imagery wizardry or a rare sighting of a spirit. Have a look. Recorded by a house's security camera, the footage purportedly shows a dog spirit. In the scene, an old man rings the bell, awaiting someone to open the door. Suddenly, a light black smoke in the form of a dog emerges in the background and approaches the old man. Sensing something amiss, he glances behind him, but finds nothing as the dog spirit dissipates. It's an eerie and unsettling sight, suggesting that even dogs may have spirits capable of such appearances. Some viewers remain skeptical, suggesting the old man may have looked back for a different reason, not sensing the spirit. While this explanation is plausible, I find myself leaning toward the mysterious nature of the sighting. The mysteries of the ocean and its strange creatures never fail to both amaze and terrify us, and this video showcases one such enigma. Filmed at Green Harbor Beach, the footage reveals a bizarre creature washed up on the shore. At first glance, it resembles a flower or bird, but upon closer inspection, its true strangeness becomes apparent, with two wing-like appendages, tinted pink and a lengthy, girthy tail. This creature defies conventional classification. Its features are so alien that discerning its mouth or fins becomes a challenge. Even the onlookers at the beach were confused, wary of touching it lest it prove poisonous. Despite extensive research, the details of this creature remain elusive. If anyone has insights into its identity, please share them in the comments below. If you thought you'd seen it all, prepare to be amazed by this footage captured in Russia.
Как он моргает? Я не знаю, сколько он тут уже висит. Пока он, конечно,
Now, I know what you're thinking. This has gotta be some sci-fi movie scene, right? Nope, this footage is as real as it gets. What you're witnessing is a truly bizarre creature perched on a branch. It boasts a diminutive body, adorned with strange tentacles protruding from its back. But that's just the beginning of its oddities. Its face is a spectacle in itself, with large, jet-black eyes that seem to pop out and lips reminiscent of a frog's. And let's not forget about its substantial tail and elongated limbs, adding to its enigmatic appearance. As the footage unfolds, you'll notice the creature's remarkable agility and speed as it moves, seemingly in search of something. The sight is undeniably surreal and has left many viewers baffled. Some have even speculated that this peculiar encounter is karmic retribution following Russia's actions. This next clip from Muzaffarpur, India, captures a truly bizarre sight. A giant rat-like creature that has left netizens baffled. The footage you just witnessed was recorded in a glassworking shop in Bihar, India. In the video, we see a weird creature resembling a large rat skulking around the shop. This creature is both creepy and intriguing, with its hairless body and pitch-black eyes. It moves with agility, effortlessly climbing up shelves within the shop. Its long neck and elongated body add to its unusual appearance. Some liken it to a mutated version of the legendary chupacabras, while others draw comparisons to the Demogorgon from the Netflix series Stranger Things. However, the idea of it hailing from a parallel dimension seems far-fetched. Nonetheless, the mystery surrounding this creature continues to puzzle us. In a video shared by a seashell collector during a routine beachcombing adventure, something rare and peculiar was discovered. The collector, equipped with gripping tools, spotted an unusual object protruding from the sandy surface. With careful effort, he extracted the mysterious find, revealing a strange alien-like creature. To the collector's surprise, this creature had an unsettling lower side and a circular mouth surrounded by tentacles. Some viewers suggested it might be a trilobite, an extinct species of marine arthropods. However, trilobites are believed to have disappeared around 250 million years ago, making it highly improbable for the creature to be one of them. It could be something resembling a trilobite, or perhaps a prop designed to mimic it. Regardless, the discovery is both fascinating and a bit disconcerting, considering these creatures may be living hidden on beaches in such a peculiar manner. It seems like Bigfoot strikes again. In this video, a man is in the forest filming something unusual. It's fall because we can see the ground is covered with dry leaves. He spots a strange, black, hairy thing moving between the trees.
Where'd it go? It's part of it.
This creature walks on two legs, and it looks a bit like what some folks say Bigfoot looks like. The woods feel extra spooky with all the autumn leaves and the quiet around. The man tries to get a better shot of this mysterious creature, moving around a little and lowering his camera to see better. For a moment, he thinks he lost it. It seemed like it vanished. But then he realizes it's still there, just further away than before. All these encounters in the forest make me wonder how come the scientists did not acknowledge this creature's presence. I know Bigfoot could be out there, although I also need to be a bit skeptical about this video, as we don't get to see the creature clearly. During a night walk in the forest, a man captures something terrifying. The footage is not clear. It's blurry and shaky, which makes everything look even more mysterious and unsettling. As the camera moves, it catches a glimpse of something odd in the darkness behind the trees. This creature has a shape that's kind of like a person's, but it's clear that it's not human. Its appearance and the way it's hidden partially behind the trees give it a spooky vibe. It could be anything from a ghost to a ghoul, the kind of creature you hear about in scary stories. It's hard to make out details, but the very sight of it, even blurry, is enough to send a shiver down your spine. The video leaves me with more questions than answers, adding to the chilling mystery of the nighttime forest encounter. I wonder what else is lurking in the dark, and we don't know. But what I know for sure is that if I was that man, I would have run away as quickly as possible. The video showcases a rather unsettling scene within the drain of a very dirty sink. Peering into the dark pipes, we observe an odd creature residing there. It has a round body with a jelly-like texture, colored in a yellowish hue, and is equipped with numerous slender whip-like strands called flagella, which it uses to move around. Upon closer inspection, the creature resembles tubifex worms, a type of worm often found in sediment of lakes and rivers, and sometimes in the sludgy buildup of pipes. While their appearance might be startling or eerie, especially as they cluster together, these worms are actually quite common. They're known for their remarkable ability to tolerate low oxygen environments, often thriving in heavily polluted waters. An interesting aspect of 2x worms is their red coloration, which is due to hemoglobin in their bodies. Similar to what's found in human blood, this hemoglobin allows them to live in low oxygen environments, and when they group together, they can appear as pulsating red masses that some might find reminiscent of flesh. I have never seen these worms in real life, but they are pretty interesting, and I have to let you know that these are a good fish bait. This video is taken by a security camera at a house's entrance. We see a kid playing on his phone, sitting close to the open front door. You can hear many voices in the background, showing that there are more people inside the house, so the kid isn't alone. During the video, something surprising happens. A big wildcat, which looks like it might be a mountain lion, walks into the house. The kid notices the animal, gets up from the sofa very calmly, walks out of the house, and then quietly shuts the door behind him. This leaves the big cat inside the house with his family. He does all this very smoothly and doesn't say anything to anyone. The whole situation is quite intense because it's not every day that a wild animal walks into a house like that. The kid's reaction is impressively calm, and I find it shocking how he let everyone in the family in there with the feline without saying a word. I know that yelling would have attracted the attention of the animal, and perhaps even scare it to a point he gets attacked. But I still think there was more to be done to also help those inside. What do you think? Engaged in some mountain climbing in a rocky mountainous area, a man witnessed a really scary situation. On the cliff beneath him, there's a cougar, a wild mountain lion. Suddenly, the cougar starts displaying some wild behavior, leaping energetically from one rock wall to another in the rugged terrain. What adds to the tension of the video is the presence of another man down there, close to where the cougar is displaying its agility. The man stays incredibly calm during the whole situation, and the whole encounter ends up with a happy ending, as the cougar left the place as fast as he came. The cougar's powerful and swift jumps from one spot to another, like a ping-pong ball, within such close proximity to a human, are both impressive and nerve-wracking to watch. I would have never been capable to stay this calm during such an encounter. Wild animals are very powerful, and you need to know how to behave around them. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. This video is captured by several security cameras installed inside a barn, which is home to sheep, goats, and baby goats, along with some guard dogs. The quiet of the night is suddenly interrupted by the sound of coyotes howling in the distance. The moment the dogs hear the howls, they spring into action, showcasing their instinctive protective behavior. Reacting swiftly to the coyote calls, the guard dogs leave the barn and position themselves at the entrance, barking loudly. Their strategic positioning is crucial. They stay close enough to the barn to ensure the safety of the farm animals inside, demonstrating their role as protectors. Their loud barking serves as a warning, which successfully stops the coyotes from howling and approaching closer. Although the immediate threat seems to subside with the cessation of the howls, the dogs remain on high alert, ready to defend throughout the rest of the night. I am impressed by the dogs' behavior and of their strategy of protecting the sheep. Animals are smarter than we think. This next clip has been causing quite a stir on the internet, with many suggesting that it captures the sight of an aquatic Batman. What you just witnessed wasn't Batman soaring through the skies in a movie scene, but rather real footage captured underwater. In the video, we see a truly strange creature swimming in the water, resembling something out of a superhero comic. At first glance, it may appear to be a jellyfish, but its method of swimming is unlike anything a jellyfish would do. This creature boasts a dark coloration and what seems like a cape-like structure on its back, reminiscent of Batman's iconic wings. It utilizes these wing-like structures to gracefully disperse water as it moves through its aquatic environment. While this creature is undoubtedly strange, my guess is that it could be a lesser-known relative of the jellyfish family. After all, the ocean is full of surprises, and who's to say that one of its inhabitants couldn't resemble Batman? This next clip from India showcases a rather bizarre sight of a fire-resistant goat casually warming itself by the flames. Filmed at an Indian temple, this video captures a black goat confidently resting its face in the fire. What's truly remarkable is that despite the proximity to the flames, the goat doesn't seem bothered at all. Its horns and face are right in the midst of the fire, yet there's no sign of burns or distress. It's almost as if this goat has some sort of built-in fire resistance. But the strangeness doesn't end there. In another surprising moment, a lady appears in the frame and casually handles the fire with her bare hands. She effortlessly picks up the coal used to feed the flames and walks away as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Witnessing these events, one can't help but wonder if the people at this temple possess some extraordinary abilities, or if there's a rational explanation behind this baffling scene. Imagine you're doing a routine cleaning of your bathroom tiles, but then something bizarre like this starts happening.
Una explicación científica para esto.
In this intriguing video from Indonesia, we witness a rather strange phenomenon unfold as the cleaner solution meets the tiles. As the liquid hits a specific spot, an odd wave-like motion begins to ripple through the water, almost resembling something swimming beneath the surface. The wave meanders around for a bit before eventually dissipating into the solution. It's a strange occurrence, especially in such an ordinary setting like a bathroom. One possible explanation could be that there's a fan nearby generating air currents that cause these waves. However, if there were a hole in the tile, we'd expect to see bubbles forming in the water as well, which isn't the case here. This leaves us scratching our heads. If you have any insights or explanations, please share them with us in the comments below. Hunters were out on their usual hunting trip in the African forest when they stumbled upon a truly bizarre creature that defies description. This isn't a scene from a fantasy movie. It's real footage captured by our African hunters. The creature before us was found by the hunters, and it is utterly strange and unsettling. It got a human-like face atop the body of a small koala, covered in hair. It's a sight that just doesn't seem right. In the video, the hybrid creature appears to be resting, perhaps even lifeless at first glance. But upon closer inspection, you can see subtle movements suggesting it's just asleep. Personally, anything with even a hint of human features sends shivers down my spine. Attention all Bigfoot enthusiasts, prepare to bolster your evidence and convince the skeptics that this legendary creature is indeed real. At first glance, it resembles a gorilla or an ape, but given that this was recorded in the Acadian forest of Canada, I'm sure that's not the case. This creature stands tall and possesses a humanoid posture, moving through the bushes in a distinctly human-like manner. The video was taken from a hidden spot, unbeknownst to the creature. However, a sudden noise from the hiker alerted the humanoid figure, causing it to become agitated. In a chilling display, the creature began growling in a deeply unsettling voice, prompting the hiker to flee in fear. This creature perfectly fits the description of what many refer to as Bigfoot, adding yet another intriguing piece to the puzzle of its existence. Do you think this video? Now, we've got a clip straight from a remote African village, and let me tell you, it's downright unsettling. What you just witnessed isn't some extraterrestrial being dropped off by an alien ship. It's a Percussion mutant. This mutated pig's appearance is quite eerie, with a dog-like lower body and a humanoid head. The mutation has twisted its facial features, giving it a human-like nose, tongue, and eyes. It's especially unnerving to see its mouth hanging open with the tongue sticking out. At first glance, we might have all mistaken it for an alien, but it's actually a baby pig, unfortunately born with disabilities and mutations. Creatures like this mutant often have short lives, as their abnormalities make it difficult for them to survive. Even though this creature seems straight out of a nightmare, I hope it found ease of life after this video was taken, and that local authorities provided the care it needed. If you have a phobia of insects, please skip this clip. This video comes from Africa, and in it we see a man in his kayak going towards a tree. He then does a stupid thing and hits his paddle on the tree branch, and from that branch, tons of bugs start flying around. These bugs and insects surround the man, and he starts paddling back in his kayak immediately. This man did this on purpose, but he didn't know that there were this many insects on that branch. Also, I don't know what these insects are. They can be mosquitoes or something like that. But whatever they were indeed creepy and scary. I don't have a phobia of insects, but after watching this video, I think I will consider myself as someone with entomophobia. This video comes from a house nanny cam, and in it we see a girl sitting on the couch using her mobile phone. She is busy with her mobile phone, and suddenly we see the plant leaves on the table in front of her move. After that, the object on the table falls off on its own, and the girl notices it. She thinks it's nothing, and picks the thing up from the ground and puts it back on the table. But as soon as she puts it back, the door of the cabinet beside her opens on its own. The door opens and closes on its own. And seeing that, the girl knows that now it's not normal. She straddles and yells for her mom, and then runs off from there. I think this video is really interesting and real, considering the natural reaction of the girl to these encounters. Also, the plant leaf movement left unknown by the girl also shows that there was some spirit present there, doing all this haunting. This man heard something was on his roof, making noises and moving around. Although he was a bit scared, he went outside trying to get rid of it, thinking it must be a large bird or a lost cat. But he was not prepared for what he is about to see.
No. Okay. Get the other side. Oh, damn!
Once he looks on top of his house, he can see a pair of glowing eyes staring at him. while also hiding behind the roof.
Holy shit. All right. Son of a bitch is one on the other side of the house.
But once he gets to the other side of the house to see the creature better, he sees only a terrifying sight.
What the hell? Where'd it go? What is that?
What exactly did this man catch on camera on top of his house? Was it perhaps an owl that seems creepier than usual? Or was it some kind of cryptid? Considering the carcass it left behind, it seems really terrifying and likely that it was something out of the ordinary. These videos that I am about to show you come from Scott Carpenter, and he is certain that in the area where he lives, there lives at least one Bigfoot, but he is stranger than any one Bigfoot you've seen. He claims that this Bigfoot is a completely white one, and he has some evidence to show for that claim. He traversed the forests and took recordings of every journey, and with more long hours of going through every footage and enhancing it, he has found some strange sightings of something that's been stalking him all throughout his journey. He has spotted many times a white figure trying to hide near bushes or trees, while keeping a close eye on his movements. Scott's cameras managed to pick up multiple occurrences of this, but one of the best sights he caught was the creature's face. We can see the special color of the creature, which I am guessing isn't helping it hide at all in a green forest. But the creature also seems strangely creepy and cautious at the same time, as if he is fearing Scott. Could this be a mutation of the known Bigfoot creature? A mutation that made it completely white? This security footage was taken by someone who set up these cameras because they believe the house is haunted and wanted proof of that. And as you are about to see in this clip, the house certainly is haunted. We can see the woman sleeping in her room, everything starting out normal, but just a bit past 8 p.m. we can see the door of a small cabinet opening on its own. Soon after, the light inside it start going on and off, but creepier, the stand near her bed seems to move slowly, to a point where it hits the bed, as if to wake her up. Once she wakes up thinking she heard something, she calls after someone in the house, who immediately comes to comfort her.
Honey?
They go back into the room to check again, knowing something is not right, but decide they do not want to stay in that room any longer. But just a few seconds after they leave, this happens. The footage ends there, but we can all say with certainty, something is wrong in that house. Could it be a poltergeist playing with them? This security footage caught a creepy sight. It seems to be placed in a house under construction, perhaps to see if anyone comes to steal any of the building materials. But as soon as this clip starts, we can see something coming out of the next room. It looks like the shadow of a man that is walking slowly, heading towards the next room. I am not sure whether it is the way the camera is set up, but the figure seems incredibly large, almost reaching the height of that tall door. It is truly a creepy sight. What exactly could it be? Is this some kind of a shadow ghost? Or is it just some flickering of the camera that created a creepy glitch on the screen? This hiker started recording with his phone while in the forest because he realized something might be stalking him. Although he shakes the camera a lot, perhaps due to being anxious, we can easily spot something in the distance, looking directly at him. The figure appears humanoid, but fully dressed in black, or perhaps black hair. Although the hiker managed to get out of the forest safely, he claims to have been shaken by what he saw that day, and is unsure himself of what he's seen, not knowing if it was a weird person following him around or something more creepy. Many claimed that is a Sasquatch, who got a bit too interested in this particular case and decided to follow him around. But given the bad quality of the video, I'm not so sure that is the case, when it can also be all a setup. What do you think? Imagine taking a stroll in your neighborhood after a rainy day, and suddenly you stumble upon this thing. Like me, your first thought might be to get rid of it as quick as possible, maybe by burning it or squishing it under your shoe. However, a closer look reveals a fascinating phenomenon in nature. This circular cluster is actually a group of black caterpillars engaged in a unique behavior called a rolling swarm. Each caterpillar moves at a slightly different pace. Those on top continuously climb over their neighbors, creating a conveyor belt effect. This means the ones in the second layer go twice as fast, but then, once they make it to the front, they have to slow down again as they make their way back to the bottom. With all this going on, it creates this ring-like shape. Even though it's somewhat natural, it still gives me the chills. Get ready for a journey back to World War right from the heart of a German army camp. In the footage you just witnessed, we see a German army camp where troops stumbled upon a truly bizarre and unsettling creature during a routine patrol. This creature gave off vibes of a humanoid mixed with a wolf, resembling something out of a werewolf tale. Towering in height, it boasted sharp, ferocious-looking teeth. The German soldiers were understandably puzzled and intrigued by their discovery, as captured in the video where they attempted to document the creature. Now, some skeptics might suggest that the footage was digitally manipulated, and we can't rule that out, but it still looks intriguing. If indeed genuine, this footage forces us to confront the possibility that creatures akin to werewolves may have roamed among us. Curious about what my sleep paralysis demon goat looks like. This weird goat clip surfaced on Facebook, shared by a page called Anadoonline, sparking a wave of unease and fascination within the community. But fear not, this goat isn't some devil spawn or extraterrestrial being. It's actually a mutant goat from India. Surprisingly, this goat has garnered local celebrity status and is even worshipped in India due to its oddly human-like face. It's believed to have been born with a rare mutation called cyclopia, resulting in facial deformities. So why the worship? Well, in Hindu religion, goats hold significant importance and are considered holy. Hence, this goat with its human-like face is regarded as even more special. Despite its fame, this poor goat may struggle with everyday tasks like eating and breathing due to its mutation. Let's hope its life becomes easier as it grows older. In this video, we see a woman engaged in a video call with her friend, casually chatting and catching up on each other's lives. She's at home alone, comfortably talking and unaware of her surroundings.
Like maybe a day bed or something. I mean, I have that credit card. I'm not going to buy anything expensive. I'll try like Salvation Army first.
However, unbeknownst to her, there's an unsettling presence in her living room. As she converses, a humanoid shape is seen moving in the background.
I went and bought decaf coffee.
The shape is indistinct, and its face is not visible, adding an eerie quality to the footage.
The fact that the woman is supposed to be alone in the house makes the appearance of this figure all the more mysterious and unnerving. During the video, the woman eventually settles into a chair in the living room, and it seems as though the mysterious figure vanishes. There's no clear explanation for its presence. It could have been a trick of the light, a reflection, or perhaps something more supernatural, like a ghost. Whatever it was, if I were that woman, I would have freaked out and get out of the house immediately. This video showcases a fascinating and odd moment in nature, displaying a European mantis that is busy eating a wasp. Normally, we just see the mantis as the predator, but there's an unusual twist here. While the mantis is eating the wasp, there's another wasp at the lower part of the mantis's body, and it looks like this wasp is trying to eat the mantis. This scene presents a rare and intriguing interaction, where the usual roles of hunter and prey get mixed up. The whole scene is really strange in my opinion. How did the mantis not realize that it is being eaten up? From the captivating view of the front window of a train, this video is presenting an almost surreal scene. The train is traveling on a track with water on both sides, likely passing through a large lake or expansive body of water. And it's nighttime, which adds to the scene's intrigue. What makes the view particularly striking is the electrical storm occurring at the same time. There are frequent flashes of lightning, illuminating the surroundings dramatically. The combination of the train moving through this water-flanked path, the darkness of the night, and the intermittent light from the lightning gives the whole experience a mysterious, almost otherworldly feel. I find storms really scary in giving the whole setup. This train ride would have been a hell for me. Captured during daylight, this video shows something phenomenal.
I've seen some really creepy stuff, but nothing like this. There's a palm floating right in the middle of the air.
Hovering in the air, seemingly torn from its roots by strong winds, now causing it to float. Initially, the floating tree might give off a supernatural vibe, making it look like something out of the ordinary or magical.
Nothing like this. There's a palm floating right in the middle of the air,
creating a spectacle that is both astonishing and a clear testament to the power of natural forces. A group of guys found something terrifying inside an abandoned house during the night. They seemed to be on the hunt for something, possibly curious or intrigued by the house's history, or rumors that it might be haunted.
Cover my back, alright.
As they explore, their suspicions seem to be confirmed in a startling way. Suddenly, a humanoid shape appears, emerging from behind one of the doors. The possibility that it might be a ghost seems to fit the eerie setting and the house's abandoned, mysterious nature. The video's blurriness makes it hard to see any clear details, adding to the spooky and uncertain atmosphere of the encounter. The appearance of this figure triggers immediate fear in the group. Their reaction is instinctive. They start to run, hurrying down the stairs in an attempt to leave the house as quickly as possible. I don't know how these people are so brave to go check this kind of places. I am terrified only by the idea of a ghost. In this video, a man films the peak of a towering mountain. As he zooms in, the camera reveals a surprising sight atop the mountain, a large black figure, its size and shape evoking the image of the legendary Bigfoot.
The figure's presence on the cloud, enshrouded peak, adds a layer of mystery and intrigue to the footage. The contrast between the distant lofty peak and the striking silhouette of the figure is striking. Watching this, one can't help but feel a sense of unease mixed with fascination. The possibility of such a creature like Bigfoot existing in such remote and inaccessible places stirs the imagination and curiosity. These remarkable images, captured at Big Creek Lake in Wilmer, Alabama, have ignited a wave of speculation and wonder. From the very first glance, it becomes apparent that we may be in the presence of the legendary and elusive creature known as the Bigfoot. The creature in display possesses a thick coat of fur enveloping its entire body. However, as we dare to examine the images more closely, its towering stature more closely resembles that of an ape, more of a gorilla. Notably, unlike most purported Bigfoot sightings caught on camera, this particular specimen appears comparatively smaller in size. One can't help but wonder, could this be an elaborate disguise? A man in a costume aimed at playing an unsettling prank on unsuspecting observers? Deep in the woods in Oklahoma, a hunter captures a chilling encounter running across a trail camera and is convinced he's captured the famous Bigfoot. We had to zoom in quite a bit to scrutinize the explicit humanoid blur. Notice how the bipedal subject was moving so fast that the camera was not able to take a clear picture. Is it because the subject was really fast? Or is it done intentionally so that we cannot tell it is fake? Its ghastly pale form takes on a somewhat otherworldly appearance, eerily similar to a cryptid entity. The overall structure seems really sturdy, a human-like form, but a bit different. Could this be the dreaded Sasquatch moving at an incredible speed? Or is just a normal human who was caught in a weird way by the camera? This security camera caught some bizarre footage under the cover of darkness. Amidst a tranquil garden, a chilling sight unfolds. The video captures a mysterious figure lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, the camera glitches as if someone was tampering with it. What sends chills behind our backs is when the figure suddenly starts being enveloped in an incredibly bright light, as if it points a flashlight directly at the security camera. This prompts the homeowner to go to investigate what was lurking in the darkness. Upon arriving outside, she doesn't find anything, but she explains where the figure was standing.
Here's the area, the camera points to. Who would it be out here in the pitch black? Did you hear that?
Her voice is filled with awe and confusion, as she doesn't comprehend what could be terrorizing them. Could it be a prank play or something more sinister that would pay them another visit in the future? This was captured on a security camera in a remote location where, at a time, the owner explained, no one was out due to rain and cold. This woman was seen wandering around that area, pacing back and forth for 20 minutes. No one knows why. It seems as if she's lost. A second security camera in another vantage position captures her going in the back of a certain house. Moments later, she is seen withdrawing back to the woods. From her body language, she seems lost and doesn't know where she is. We can also see her as she staggers in her walking. Could she be under the influence of some drugs? What could she be doing in the middle of the night, outside by herself? Could she be intoxicated or a victim of abduction, searching for help or a path to assistance? If that is the case, why did she not knock the door of one of the nearby houses? The owner of this footage has no answers, as they could not find the mysterious woman in the morning. In a more sinister case, this clip captures an unnerving event of what looks like an old woman approaching the front door of a certain house. Her looks towards the house door at such a late hour seem disturbing enough. But what is more terrifying is that she seems to be holding something in her hand. By the looks of it, this creepy lady is standing in front of this house with a knife, perhaps waiting for someone. Nervously, she gazes upon the blade with an eerie fixation. Is she trying to muster the courage to do whatever she had in mind to begin with? What malevolence could she be planning? Imagine if someone came out from the house and finds this creepy lady? To be honest, I think she might be suffering from some type of mental illness, as she does not seem to be in her right mind. But it is scary to think what could have happened if someone opened the door. In this household, the owner installed a motion tracking camera because strange things kept happening in the house. She is familiar with the events and complains that this is not the first time strange things happened. Before the video begins, something must have happened, as she seems concerned about the cat, calling it to come to her. But we soon see that the door starts moving, as if someone is meddling with it. When she approaches the door, it is clear that no one is there. Could it be a ghostly apparition? Her cat also is aware of the uncanny presence of the unknown, and seems to be spooked. She even goes to the back of the door and talks to the ghost, as if this is all too familiar to her. She curses to whatever that's behind the door and tells it to leave the door alone. But once the woman begins petting and trying to calm down the cat, something creepier happens. The lady seems overwhelmed by these ghostly activities, as if she's experienced this over and over again. This unsettling video comes to a conclusion, but one question lingers in the minds of those who have witnessed it. What insidious forces inhabit this house? Is it a poltergeist, trying to make its presence known? One night, the mother of a daughter was notified by her camera application that motion was detected in the room. The mother, not knowing what is going on in the middle of the night, checks the monitor, only to see a scary sight. We can clearly see something running across the screen next to the kid's bed. Even the motion camera moves a bit, following the figure's movement. Soon after, the mother comes to the room and asks her child if she has a cat in her room. It becomes more peculiar when the child responds that there was no cat in the room.
Is there a cat in here? Is there a cat in here? No.
It becomes clear that surely it might be a ghost cat because the mother wrote about this footage online, saying they recently had to put down their family cat due to illness, and that might be her soul still lingering next to the child, who she had a loving relationship with. In 2017, this trail camera in East Texas Davy Crockett National Forest caught an uncanny sighting at night in a remote location. In this picture, we can see a figure of what appears to be a woman walking around alone in the forest. This is definitely a creepy sight because of the fact that it was captured on a trail camera at a time where certainly no one would be walking around alone in the wilderness. The park rangers were not able to track her, and no one was reported missing around that area. Was this truly a person we've witnessed? Could she be lost or a fugitive? Or did this trail camera catch a ghost? In the still of the night, this trail camera caught what appears to be a slender shadow running across the front yard of a house. When we slow down the recording, as the figure is running, one might assume it to be a normal human being. But as it goes past, it starts vanishing and disappears into the thin air. This footage is really strange, and what transpires is really mysterious. At a closer range, from its pale figure and almost invisible like stature, one can conclude it to be a ghostly apparition. But it could also be a glitch with the recording camera, as this type of things are known to happen with cheaper equipment, where a person's body is no longer processed by the camera, and thus it appears to vanish. A trail camera picks up an unusual sight of a creature fumbling with the camera. Only fur from the animal can be seen. The creature had come around and spotted the camera, and perhaps out of curiosity, it tries to figure what the object is. In the process, it reveals its face, and we can see it's a bear. The bear, with its large paws and inherent wilderness, inadvertently damages the camera as it forcefully rips it off, showcasing its inability to handle delicate objects. This woman heard some crows going crazy in the forest, and she began filming in case they start again. She tries to look for the crows in the sky, but she finds none. But her camera catches something else in the forest, lurking. In between the trees, she sees a figure that catches her eyes. Amongst the trees, a dark hulking image that appeared in one frame. The figure appears to be a large, hairy creature, potentially resembling the mythical Bigfoot. Descriptions of the creature vary, but it is generally depicted as a large bipedal humanoid covered in fur. What even seems scarier is when the creature lifts up its arm and seems to wave at the woman. The woman obviously freaks out, as it is indeed a frightening sight to see while walking all alone in a forest. Although the video does not show anything more, and we get a very brief sight of the creature, it still raises the question of whether she may have captured a glimpse of the legendary Sasquatch or Bigfoot. This is a recording from a ranger who was conducting a survey in a remote area when he noticed something strange in the depths of the field. The ranger flashes his spotlight scanning the area when he sees a peculiar white figure. Sensing it is being watched, it swiftly crawls behind a tree to hide. The ranger maintains the flashlight in the specific area, and 5 seconds later, it is seen emerging from the shadows, creeping stealthily between the trees, going in deeper in the woods. When we zoom in the footage, the creature bears a haunting resemblance to the infamous rake that at times walks on its fours, giving an illusion of a crawling figure. A police officer is called out to investigate a disturbance in a certain area, because apparently, neighbors complained a man had been screaming for almost over an hour. Upon arriving at the scene, it seems as if the screams had abruptly ceased. He constantly uses his flashlight to search any signs of the unusual, as he cautiously proceeded down the road, but his flashlight suddenly illuminates a chilling sight at the far end of a branching road on his right. A pale and ghostly figure appeared to be sitting down. Without warning, it rises and starts darting towards the officer. The sheriff is spooked and becomes alerted. He immediately turns around away to flee from the imminent danger. After a close inspection, one can recognize the unknown figure to be one of the cryptids from its humanoid figure, white-like complexion and elongated limbs. The authenticity of the video is of course a matter of debate. However, there is no denying the strange and unsettling nature of the creature that is captured on film. Whether it is a real creature or simply a clever hoax, the video is sure to spark curiosity and speculation. A security camera captures a peculiar occurrence in a backyard in Weslaco, Texas. In the dead of the night, when it is devoid of any activities, a small girl is seen walking hurriedly from the back of a storehouse across to the other end. One can easily wonder what a young girl could be doing walking casually in the middle of the night. The small girl seems to be in a white dress and seems to be all alone. The owner claims there isn't any young girl in their house or living in their vicinity, hence why he thought this site is so creepy. At a closer range, from its pale figure and almost invisible like stature, one can conclude it to be a ghostly apparition. We also have a continuation, as the owner, baffled by what he saw, went on to investigate the surrounding area of his backyard. The area is scary and seems to be empty, not one trace of a person having been there. The man goes to the fence of the yard and records the eerie darkness, but nothing out of ordinary can be seen. So what exactly did the camera catch? Was it a glitch with the recording, or did it really catch a glimpse of the immaterial? Looking at this video, one can just see a normal grass field, but upon closer inspection, the young creature comes into clarity. It resembles a meerkat or a mongoose, but when analyzed, many people claim the creature is taller and wider from a normal mongoose. From its structure, one can distinguish the small creature has long arms and elongated small claws. It is also visible that it is covered in black fur and has some orange smudge on its head. The description may resemble that of a baby Bigfoot, or it could be a photoshopped image of one's intention trying to spook its audience. What do you think? In the continued search for the Bigfoot, a man catches a glimpse of a thrilling moment. A figure can be seen stalking around. The video was perfectly captured in the right moment, where the large creature can be seen as if playing peekaboo with the viewers. The man in the background filming is captivated and asks his counterpart if sees what he's seeing, whom he's also aware of the happenings.
Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm afraid.
The creature also seems to be aware of being watched, as it seems to be directly facing them.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The unknown figure casually wanders around, conscious of being watched. When it stretches its arms, the limbs are really long and resembles those of a Bigfoot. The creature can easily be mistaken for an ape, but surely it's too big for the ape category, considering the fact it is bipedal. In this haunting video, the innocence of a child unfolds amidst a backdrop of the paranormal. As the child plays and goofs around, he seems to not be alone in the room. Although hard to see at first, we can notice an ephemeral being seeming to play with the child. The entity does not seem to want to harm the child, who also seems to be aware of that. Is it a ghostly apparition, trapped between realms and drawn to the child's presence? Could it be a protective spirit? Or is it our imagination coming from just a camera glitch? This person was having a party at their house, but he noticed some weird movement outside their house. They went outside to check and spotted something strange, hiding. They pointed the flashlight to confirm if there is anything there. Not seeing anything, the person closes the flashlight to see if that will bait whatever is hiding in the darkness. When they open the flashlight again, at a closer scrutiny, a glimmer of movement behind a distant rock caught their eye. A small, unusual being peeks from the rock, then hides. The person then keeps doing that repeatedly, and as before we can see the small being peeking again timidly. There are points when the unusual being comes out exposing part of its body. The thing resembles the height of a toddler, appears white or pink in color, and as it goes back, we can see its short hand. We can hear the woman in the background pleading for the flashlight to be turned on.
Turn the light on. Turn the light on again.
and this time they catch half of its body. Might this be one of the Makiawisug, the little people from Native Americans' myths? They have come to punish those who did not compel to their rules, or they have come to reward who were kind to them. In this clip, a man was in his yard when he noticed something dark moving near the wood line. He tries to use his phone to see if he can have a closer look. As he tries to zoom in, he can see the dark blob but can't make out what it is and continues recording. A second one pops out. As the one stands there staring at him, the other one looks oblivious. The larger one goes behind that tree and starts peeking from the other side. Could this be the site of a group of Bigfoot-like creatures? Something out of the ordinary stands out against the stark backdrop of a snowy forest. A tree begins to wobble as though being pushed by an invisible force, and then it vanishes. The cameraman is startled and rapidly zooms in to get a better look.
Something happened over there.
When another tree appears and joins the ethereal show, amazing things happen. It seems to have been plucked from the earth and is then observed floating weightlessly through the air, as if propelled there by supernatural forces. The cameraman's voice cracks with awe and amusement as he exits the scene. As the screen fades to black, the mystery remains, leaving us to wonder about the invisible forces at work in the world. Could the tree have been uprooted by the mysterious Bigfoot, whose existence has been a mystery to humans for centuries? During a Facebook live session, the streamer discloses that unusual things have been happening in the backyard of his house. He opens the door to his backyard and records as he tries to stabilize his camera phone. As he closely zooms into the further backyard, what we see runs a chill behind our backs.
This is the exact spot that I just...
The figure suddenly appears, emerging from the deepest shadows. It moved with an unnerving swiftness, resembling a cryptid straight out of folklore. Its elongated limbs blurred as it ran past the lamplight through the blackness, leaving a lingering chill in its wake. We can look at the stabilized video and we can see the immense stature of the figure. Even with a costume, no one would be able to look this huge and move this smoothly. Even the comments from the viewers, which were filled with astonishment and amazement, poured over the screen of his phone in a continuous stream. Is it a harmless joke, or may something more sinister be at work here? This driver had just left a late-night party and was coming home when he noticed something unusual. The footage from the dashboard camera shows a perplexing image that is concentrated at the side of the road where a deer can be seen standing still in its tracks and commanding attention. But what really sent chills was the ghostly figure that stood beside the deer, an eerie white silhouette mirroring the height and form of a human who stood there, defying the boundaries of the known. After closely zooming and stabilizing the image, it appeared as though the ghost form was gently petting the deer. The footage reveals a spine-chilling moment. What caused this footage, and why does it look like a human close to the deer? Was it a ghostly figure or a trick of the camera? Nestled within the depths of Guatemala, a park ranger discovers that he is caught up in an intricate web of unexplained occurrences. As the ranger emerges from his cabin, and as he approaches his quad bike, we hear an eerie symphony of unease permeating the air around him. Once more, the ghostly wails can be heard resonating with persistence. because the park ranger is familiar with the native creatures residing there. He is confident that the eerie howls are coming from a creature that is not native to that area and does not belong there. This leaves the ranger wondering if the cries are of an animal or something more sinister. This trail camera captured this eerie footage in the depths of the wilderness. The grainy image reveals a creature, its familiar and inexplicably uncanny form. The creature in the footage has since been named the Tehachapi Dogman. At first glance, the shadow appears to be a normal wolf, but upon closer scrutiny, its presence seems more immense than any canine entity. A stooped bipedal person with a slumped posture came into view. The creature's form suggests something more menacing, defying the boundaries of the natural world. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.